Hey everybody, welcome to the Hobby Shack, or welcome back if you've been with us before. I know we were planning on having Charmander be our next video, but unfortunately Bulbasaur ended up having a few technical difficulties that caused it to be uploaded late, and we wanted to make sure that we had a video for you guys on Friday. Because Charmander's a little more involved than Bulbasaur, I mean Bulbasaur only has like 2 colors and Charmander has 7 colors. He takes a little longer to paint, and I didn't want to have to rush him to get this out on Friday, so instead we are going to be playing with my brand new pressure pot. I say brand new, I have been working on this pressure pot for about a week. I'm super excited about our pressure pot because it took 3 trips to the hardware store, 1 express freight from the United States, and I'm gonna say 6 days and half a dozen bandages on my hands to get this thing together. Not to mention the amount of times that I had to take everything apart and reseal it and redo it to the point where I threw out the Teflon tape and just Loctited the whole thing, because screw it, it's a pressure pot forever and I'm never taking apart this stupid thing again. Anyway, so it's all together. I tested it out last night. I'm sorry I don't have the actual filming of me resin casting and mixing all of that together and putting it all in, because I honestly, until literally 5 minutes ago this morning, was planning on doing Charmander until reality kicked in and I realized I didn't have enough time. So unfortunately, I'm not doing a resin tutorial today. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see some resin tutorials or anything like that. Today, I am going to be unpotting, boxing, veiling, demolding, I don't know what you want to call it. I am opening up the pressure pot and we are gonna take a look and see what happened last night after my resin had about 12 hours of 40 pounds of pressure pressed down on it. If you don't know what a pressure pot is, basically think of like a pressure cooker, but instead of steam and heat, it uses just basic air pressure from like a compressor. And you take your liquid resin and you put that into a mold, and then you take your mold and you put it into the pot and you pressurize the pot. I think we got up to 40 PSI yesterday. So that's 40 pounds of pressure per square inch. And basically what that does is it takes all of that liquid resin and pushes it down into every little nook and cranny inside each mold. And the other beautiful thing it does is it gets rid of any air bubbles. And that's both in the mold and in the resin itself. So it squeezes the air into minuscule, microscopic little bubbles that you can't see with the naked eye. And you get crystal clear casts. And I am excited about this because my OCD will not allow bubbles in my resin casts. I hate bubbles. They are my enemy, and I have finally defeated them, I hope. So let's crack this thing open and see what we get. I am excited. All right, here is our pressure pot. She is still sealed from last night, so I'm a little bit terrified of her right now because there's a good amount of pressure in here. Now, if you are going to make one of these yourselves, you do have to be careful and make sure you have working safety valves and all of that jazz just to be on the safe side. Now, doing this, you are going against manufacturer's recommended usage for this pot. So it is a make at your own risk product. And I'm just going to say that you want to be really careful when you're doing something like this, because if you've ever seen a pressure cooker explosion, this is worse. So you want to do everything you can to keep yourself safe and keep this guy from going kaboom. Now, I'm gonna crack her open and let's see what we get. Okay, so I'm just gonna
One eternity later.
Let's see what's inside. You can see all of the little molds inside the pot. So here are all of our little molds ready to be popped out. Lesson learned, you have to be careful if you put any molds on top of other molds. I had some of these sort of tiny molds on top of here in the pressure pot, and I guess what must have happened is some of them got blown into this mold when the air was put in. I'm gonna try and dig those out, and I hope that I can. It looks like the resin hasn't covered them completely. I'm gonna have to figure something out because I do want to get those out. So wish me luck that I'll be able to do that. So you might be wondering what a pressure pot is good for. Well, we molded this clear Bulbasaur about a couple of months ago before we got our pressure pot. And he looks pretty great from far away, but if you get up close, and in real life they're a lot more noticeable, down here under his chin, there's a lot of little tiny air bubbles, and right down in here where the planter goes, there's these two quite large worm trails, I think they're called. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong or right. And that can be a huge problem, especially if you're OCD like me and air bubbles are your enemy. With all of his little defects, I think he's adorable, but my OCD just wouldn't allow something like this to be sold in our shop. So I'm really hoping that with our new pressure pot, that's going to fix all of these problems. All right, let's see what we got. He turned out perfect. He's a little bit more silver gray on the screen. He's actually sort of almost like a greeny gray in real life. I think I like the silver though. I think our next attempt will be more silver. And I'm enjoying the little bits of glitter that are still sort of falling. He's got a nice little crown at the top. And I think I'm going to make this like a snowfall series. Doesn't it look sort of like a snowy night with the sparkling snow falling to the ground? We literally just had almost a foot and a half of snow dumped on us yesterday. So snow is a big theme right now. And our second one is looking fantastic. Obviously each one of these is going to be completely unique and one of a kind because the glitter is never gonna settle exactly the same way in each one. So again, once it's all coated, it's going to look gorgeous. Now, because he has a few in-beds, he's probably gonna end up being my display model. Hopefully I'll be able to dig these out. I will let you know. Also, let us know what you would like to see the spot color be on these Bulbasaurs. Usually Bulbasaur spots are darker than their color, but I'm actually kind of digging like these lighter spots like on these crystal guys. Let me know in the comments below what color you think I should make the spots for these Bulbasaur. Now I did try a petri dish effect with these roses, so let's see what the pressure pot does with the petri dish effect. I'm actually kind of curious to know what's gonna happen. Now with our roses, we do end up with a lot of air bubble problems, so I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen right now. Ooh, that is looking beautiful. And no air bubbles anywhere. Oh, it's so pretty. Now these I just wanted to be sort of crystal-y and clear, so they are made the same way the Bulbasaurs are. And there's a few air bubbles here at the top where it looks like they got sort of trapped as they were being pulled out, but that's not too bad because they're on the bottom, which I'm gonna have to clean up anyways. right, now it's time for all of these little monstrosities. I really dig these little cats. Now with the cats, we always end up with this problem of getting teeny tiny little air bubbles, especially in the ears and on the edges here, and there aren't any. Oh, I'm so happy and so excited. Looks like this kitty died. So as you can see here, we had this mold. This mold broke a little bit. I don't know if you can see, yeah, there's that little tear. Now, because it went in the pressure pot, I'm gonna put this over on the side so I don't forget to throw that one out. Because it went to the pressure pot, the mold pushed, can you see it? Yeah, the mold pushed out on this side where that tiny little tear was, and it's sort of crazy shaped now. It's not a perfect kitty head.
A few moments later.
Okay, and there's all of my cat heads done. Now let's move on to these tiny little stars. Oh my God, they're so small. I was not expecting the molds to be quite this small. Are these not so adorable? Oh my goodness, I think these are gonna make such cute little earring studs. So cute. All right, all of our little stars are done. What should we do next? Snowflakes or moons? I'm actually really curious to see how these snowflakes are gonna turn out. I don't think I would have been able to make these without the pressure pot. Like, there's no way I was gonna be able to get the resin into all of these little nooks and crannies. Oh my God, they're so cute. Look at that, it's so tiny and there's so much detail. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have been able to get this without the pressure pot.
More moments later.
Okay, I'm running out of space on my SD card, so I'm gonna quickly do some moons so you can see them. And I'm gonna have to do some of these off camera. Oh, I like the moons, they're so cute. These are gonna make great studs. I have all the newly demolded pieces in their little trays. I like to keep them organized like this. And I've got them all here. I've got the stars and the little snowflakes. And here I have a full row of the cat heads already. This is the original glitter set, and these are going to be the pastel rainbow set as well, and I can't wait to fill up the tray with all of the colors. I did also manage to pull the stars out of poor Bulbasaur's butt here. You can see the little indent where the mold came out of. Unfortunately, the moons are stuck in there and I cannot get them out. So they are just going to live there for now, I think. I did get the silicone mold out. Unfortunately, I did have to break it to get them out. It was the only way. And I guess this little Bulbasaur is just gonna have a moon, cutie mark. We can cross over Pokemon and My Little Pony, right? Oh, no, this is what happens when you give a Bulbasaur a moonstone. There we go, a moonstone Bulbasaur. I like that. All right, so here we go, Moonstone Bulbasaur. I'm gonna stick with that, and it's now going to be a planned project. I'm gonna finish putting everything away and take the molds all back to my resin table, and I'm gonna see you guys in a minute. That's everything for today, and I am so happy and so excited. The pressure pot worked exactly the way I needed it to, and this means that I am finally victorious. I have won the war against mine enemy, the air bubble. And victory is sweet, and I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy a victorious cup of coffee. I can't tell you how good that tastes right now. Victory coffee is better than any other kind of coffee. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Also, make sure you like up this video and go and follow us over on Instagram, join us over on our Patreon, or go help out our Kickstarter. We still have a couple more days for our bosom buddies, and we are hoping to get everything unlocked. So enjoy the rest of your day. I'm gonna go enjoy my victory coffee, and I will see all of you next week.